Anthony Kennedy, the Supreme Court Justice, the swing vote on the court, stepping down, retiring, appointed by Ronald Reagan, a huge opportunity for the president to appoint a second Supreme Court Justice. How significant is that? What impact does it have on your agenda? Obviously, the House doesn't vote to confirm the nominee, but this is going to sort of become an all-consuming thing this summer.
Yeah, it's very substantive, and you look. This is one of the most important things a president does is appoints Supreme Court justices, because they individually can have such a big impact for decades, as we saw with Anthony Kennedy serving for over 4 decades on the court. And I think if you look at how President Trump has approached this from the beginning, he did something very unique. I mean, he put out a list of names as he was a candidate for president, saying these are the people that I would appoint. Neil Gorsuch arguably was the best person on every iteration of the list that he put out during his candidacy, and he stayed true to form, as he has with so many other issues, and following through on that and appointing Neil Gorsuch from that list.
Do you have a favorite of the others on the list?
I don't think there's a particular favorite right now, but obviously everybody's going to be combing through that list again to speculate, okay, who is it going to be? But at least we know, and I think that was important that he allowed the country to be involved in that. Mitch McConnell did a really important thing by saying, let's let the country have a say in this in the presidential election. And so the country got to see what that list was. Hillary Clinton, by the way, didn't put out a list, and I didn't hear anybody wondering about the list, because I think they had an idea of what kind of philosophy she would have as she appointed justices. But I think the fact that President Trump did that is a really encouraging thing.
You mentioned Leader McConnell. Democrats are seizing on that in the Merrick Garland precedent. Merrick Garland didn't get a hearing because Justice Scalia died in an election year. They're saying the precedent is set, let's follow the McConnell standard, not vote until after we figure out who controls the Senate in November.
I would hope they wouldn't want us to wait until the next presidential year is over. Clearly it was a presidential election, and it's the president that appoints justices. It's not the Senate. The Senate doesn't appoint justices. Maybe some of them want to be a justice. Most of them want to be president, it seems like. But at the end of the day, they ultimately have a role in this. The House doesn't. I thought it was important that the country did have a say in that during a presidential election, because they got to see the list of who President Trump would appoint, and that, I'm sure, factored in to a lot of people's decisions.